Okay, lick number 42 is also a minor 2-5-1 lick in the key of B flat. Less kind of technical than the previous two. Goes like this, up to speed with the track. Okay, here's the same thing with the metronome at 70 BPM. Okay, so for this lick we're going to bar across the 11th fret of the B and G strings to start with the first finger. We hit the B, then the G, then the 13th fret with the third finger on the D. We then do the same 11s on the B and the G, but now we move to the 12th fret on the D string and then to the 10th fret, second and first fingers, and then finish on the 13th fret of the A. Okay, so we then do the same thing, starting on the 10th fret, 10 and 10 on the B and the G, to the 11th fret on the D. Okay, this is over the dominant chord. Then we do the same thing again, and then D9 to A12, sorry. Now we get this little arpeggio run, 13 on the A, and then 11 on the D, 10 on the G. Okay, then we're going to play 14 with the third or little finger on the G. Move the third or little finger up to the 15th fret on the G, and then second finger on B14, first finger on E13, stretch up to the 18th fret with the little finger, and then the 17th fret with the third finger. Okay, same thing, sort of slower. Okay, let's move on to the next lick. Okay, lick number 43 is a long, snaky legato line based over an A flat 13 chord. So again, we're back to A flat Lydian dominant. Up to speed with the track, it sounds like this. Okay, here's the same thing with the metronome at 70 BPM. Okay, so for this lick we're going to start on the A flat, as we did with the previous A flat Lydian dominant lick, at the 4th fret of the low E. We're going to play that note, then hammer on with the little finger to the 8th fret on the same string. Then transition up through our A flat 7 arpeggios, so 6th fret on the A string, sorry, with the second finger. Then a little legato run, 4th fret on the D, hammer onto the 8th, pull off to the 7th, pull off to the 6th. Okay, then first finger on G5, hammer onto 8, pull off to 6, hammer onto 7. Brain failure. Okay, then go up to the 6th fret with the first finger on the B string, then the 7th fret on the G with the second finger, come down to the 8th fret with the third finger on the D string, pull off to the first finger on the 6th, then go up to 8, hammer, up to 10, hammer, so we get this. Okay, then up to the 8th fret with the 2nd finger on the G. B7, hammer 9, hammer 10, hammer 11. Okay, then go up to the E string, 8th fret, 1st finger, hammer 11, pull off to 8, hammer 9, hammer 10, pull off to 9, pull off to 8. Okay, then we've got the 3rd finger on B11, pull off to B9, then G11, pull off to G8, D10, pull off to D8, and then finally, little and 2nd finger, pull off from A11 to A9. Now bar across the 8th frets of the D and the G and play D, then G. Go back to the D and go hammer 10, hammer 12. Slide up to the 13th fret and then bar across G and B11. Play G first, then B. Then hammer onto 15 with the little finger, pull off to 13. Move to the E string, the high E at the 11th fret with the 1st finger and hammer onto 13. So, okay, here's all of that put together in the lick nice and slow. Okay, let's have a look at the next lick. Okay, lick number 44, we're back to D Dorian, but this time we've got some sequence licks, and the next few licks are going to be kind of sequenced around diatonic triads and arpeggio shapes. This one, up to speed with the track, sounds like this. Here's the same thing with the metronome at 70 BPM. Okay, so for this lick we're going to start at the 13th fret of the high E and play some diatonically descending arpeggio figures. So we start on the 13th fret with the little finger and pull off to 10. Okay, then 3rd finger drops down to the 12th fret of the B string. Then G10 with the 2nd finger, pull off to G9. So, okay, we're then going to move that down to the next diatonic shape. So 12 pulls off to 8 on the E. And then 3rd finger on 10 on the B, and then G9 pulled off to G7, 2nd to 1st finger. Then we move down again, so we've got 10 on the E to 7 on the E, and then B8, and then G7 to G5. And then the final one, this is slightly different, E8 to pull off to E5, B6 pull off to B5. Okay, then 7, 6, 7 pick, pull off hammer on the G. Okay, then B6, hammer on B5, sorry, hammer on B6. Transfer the 1st finger over to the D string, 6th fret, hammer onto 7. Back down with the 1st finger, bar across the B and the G, play the B first at the 5th fret, then the G at the 5th fret. Now pull off 7 to 5 on the D string, 3rd and 1st fingers. And then finally, last 3 notes, 8, 7, 5, pick, pull off on the A. Here's that same thing, slow. Here we go. Let's move on to the next lick. Okay, lick number 45 this time. We're getting near the end now. This is a sequenced triad-based lick using all of the diatonic triads in the key of C major, which is the parent scale of D Dorian, starting on D minor triad. Okay, with the track, sounds like this. Okay, it's the same thing, 70 BPM, metronome click. Okay, so we're going to start this lick with a D minor triad, starting at the 2nd fret of the G string, and these are all standard kind of root position triads. So we start with the 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. Now these I'm going to play middle finger down on the 5th fret of the A string with the little finger, and then I'm going to play middle finger again, right hand on the 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the D. And then I'm going to pick the G2 again. So, okay, that's my triad. I then slide up to the 4th fret. Okay, then I just repeat this pattern. So now we've got an E minor triad. So we've got A7, D5, G4. So we've slid in, slide up to the 5th fret. Now we've got 8 on the A, 7 on the D, 5 on the G. Slide up to 7 on the G. Now we've got 10 on the A, 9 on the D, 7 on the G. Slide up to 9. Now we've got 12 on the A, 10 on the D, and 9 on the G. Pick those and slide up to 10, okay? Now we're going to do this. We're going to play a D minor arpeggio starting on the 5th, which is 12 on the A, 12 on the D, and then 10 on the G. And then hammer 12, hammer 13, hammer 14. Then compress the hand up to the 13th fret of the B string. And you can either hammer, I hammer this note onto the 17th fret, but you'll also find it at the 12th fret of the high E, which you might find easier actually. Doesn't involve so much a position shift. So you could do that as well. I'll do it that way when I demonstrate it this time. So we get or entirely up to you really. Okay, let's have a look at the next lick, which is also a sequenced triadic Dorian lick. Okay, so lick number 46 is another triadic based sequenced lick, but this time it's based around the 4th and 5th degree triads of our parent key, which in this case is C major, so an F and a G major triad. Up to speed with the track, it sounds like this. Okay, here's the same thing at 70 BPM. Okay, so this starts on an F major triad in 2nd inversion. So we're going to start with the 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. Okay, and we're going to play 2 on the G, then 3 on the A with the 2nd finger, and then 3 on the D with the 3rd finger. Now again, my picking, I go middle, down, but you could do any picking you want if you're a good alternate picker. Then slide up to 4. Repeat the same shape now, but up in this position. Slide up to the 5th fret. Now we've got F major in root position, so we've got the 8th fret on the A with the 3rd finger, 7th fret on the D with the 2nd finger, and the 5th fret on the G with the 1st finger. So we've slid in, slide up to 7 and repeat that shape. Okay, now we slide up to 10, and now we're into 1st inversion shape, so still F and G. Now we've got 12 with the 3rd finger on the A, and then barring across the D and the G string at the 10th fret, sorry. Slide up to 12, then repeat the same shape, 14, 12, 12. Then slide up to 14. So up to there we've got. Okay, now we're going to do a little hammer-on phrase, 16 to 17 on the A, second and third fingers, 14 to 15 on the D, first and second fingers, 14 to 17 on the G, first and third fingers, and then 15 to 17 on the B, first and third fingers, and as soon as you hit that 17th fret, bend it up by a half step. Okay, so nice and slow all together. Okay, let's have a look at the next lick.